Now, you may think this is an interesting way to share the information that I have constructed, but I seem to have set it up nicely, so we're gonna do it like this. So, what you asked me to do was to determine the shapes inside of a file that holds PDFs. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little thrown back by that because, yeah, you were comparing PDFs to shapes, but I mean, at the same time, that got me thinking. And then you also said that it's the same type of document, but just different types of information inside of each of them. So that made me think, and I did some research, and I ended up finding out what that meant. So my process starting out here is the file on the desktop, and in this desktop file it actually holds the 2 PDF files that you sent me. And I did some experimenting with Power Automate Desktop, and I found out that the use of the AI bots and the exact extraction applications and flows that they have available to you that the cloud web browser does not. So I did end up going with the Power Automate Desktop for this type of extraction. And what I did here was I started out with this get files, and this action actually allows me to filter out the files that I want to extract. And this is when I learned what that meant about the shapes. I guess you can put it as this file filter only will extract the PDFs inside that folder, and if there were anything else but PDFs, it wouldn't extract them. The next step that I did was actually to launch Excel. This just allows you to open Excel and view the contents inside of it. Was Save Excel. This automatically installed the Excel instance and applied the save as, which when I close it after the automation is run with the table and the new contents added into it, it will automatically save the information inside of it. Flow runs, it will automatically focus the Excel worksheet to the front of your screen, which I find pretty useful. Was to loop back, and I understood that you do have to loop back through the files in order to extract each individual PDF inside the folder. So there's multiple loop variations inside of the actions, so I had to decide which one was appropriate for this type of extraction. Solution that the for each was, because for each PDF file you're going to be determining if it meets the shape. It allows it to identify if it's a PDF file or something else that it doesn't need to extract. Now the extracted text pulls straight from the current item. The parse text is going to be the first extraction that I added onto this loop. And what this does is actually looks for the keyword and the position that it's in. And the keyword in this case was lorem. And inside of the 2 PDFs that you had sent me, it said that it's random information to test and experiment on. And what this comma and plus does is it identifies every word after the text lorem, and it saves it inside of these parentheses, which will then be pasted onto the Excel worksheet. And I did that for words after ID as well, with the same comma and plus inside of the parentheses. Now, what the split text does is it allows each individual A, B, and C column to be split so it doesn't overlap each other. And I did that being a percentage, lorem percentage, and that just allows the word lorem to not be included with the content inside of the column. I did the same thing with ID as well. Now the get first free row is going to be the action that actually allows the automation to go and gather the information that's actually in the PDF and put it into the spreadsheet. Without this, you wouldn't be able to actually get inside of the PDF. Now, the last 3 steps that I have inside of this for each loop are the write to Excel, and these basically gather the parsed text and the extracted text from the PDFs and allows the automation to actually write it into the Excel. And I did it with the current item, basically meaning the location of the file, the lorem with bracket 1 inserted into a column B, and using the first free row on column, which allows the information to be inserted into the Excel table. And I did the same thing with the ID. And at the end, I just click save, which will automatically save the Excel work table once you close it. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. And it's going to go ahead and run through each and every one of these. And it's going to go ahead and pull the Excel table. We do run into an error, but that is because there is no more PDFs for the code to automate through. And you can see that it did indeed work, and it split each individual column correctly. Now there would be an ID for this one, but there was no ID for the first PDF. But it displays every